She'll be all right, Dom said softly. He liked her, even if she did shock him as much as the rest of us. Yes, I think so. The shining sparkle in his eyes lost some of its luster. Listen, I'll need to tell you something. The reason you wanted to meet me here? He'd called on his way to the IRL processing centre and left a message to make sure I waited for him at the shop. He'd be back for 10 a.m. and we needed to talk. Detective Diaz called for you, Dom, Gina said. He sent an email, said he was waiting on your go. I guess you know what he means. Yeah, thanks. Dom caught my eye, then shifted forward on the sofa and rubbed his hands together. He was on his feet next and drifting back toward the fire, restless, anxious. Why? Okay, so, Cass, this probably won't mean much to you, but you're here, so you need to know. His gaze clipped me, moving quickly on. A few weeks back, I dropped by Kage's place. He stared at Gina, skipping me altogether. Ah. A few weeks ago, when he hadn't called me, when he'd vanished, he'd gone to see Kage. And what did the American have to say? Wait, who's Kage? Cassie asked. The guy who shot the girl to save you and Dom, Gina offered as a quick explanation. Oh, him, she purred. The badass supermodel American, that one. Dom found the ceiling fascinating. Gina gulped. And I discovered I'd quite like a whiskey. There was a lot more to it than Kage having saved Dom when I couldn't, such as how he'd drugged Dom, stalked him, reported on him to his superiors, and how he'd cuffed him, hell-bent on kidnapping him for the Latent Observation Agency, the American version of our IRL, but with guns and teeth. He had also slept with Dom, and for a while they'd been close. So close, I'd saved Kage's life for Dom. A decision that continued to circle back around and bite me on the arse. I got to my feet. Wait, where are you going? Dom asked. Getting a drink. I climbed the stairs, all the way to the top, anger building with every step. It wasn't a lot to ask that Kage Mitchell not feature in our lives, was it? I disliked the man, mostly because he was in love with Dom, but also because he shot latents for a living. I should have shoved him out of a window long ago. I retrieved a bottle of whiskey and 3 glasses, all I could fit in my fingers, and carried them back downstairs to find the 3 of them seated on the sofas, heads bent together, muttering in hushed tones. No doubt bringing Cassie up to speed on Kage and Dom's history. If I had nothing to worry about, why wouldn't Dom meet my gaze? What had happened in that week? He said he'd gone home to his mother's. Perhaps he had, for a day. Perhaps he spent the rest of the time with Kage. I poured 3 drinks, grabbed a mug and poured mine. Jealousy was an ugly emotion, hideously unfair and irrational. I'd never thought of myself as the jealous type, until now. Well, what did you talk about during the week you vanished and visited Kage? The weather, how Kage wanted me dead, and how now that Montgomery was out of the way I was probably next on his hit list. My tone was barbed and Dom narrowed his eyes, disliking it and me. He wasn't there, but this was. He tossed a slip of grease-stained paper onto the coffee table. Oh, God, is that blood? Gina picked it up, turned ashen, and passed it to Cassie. Maybe it was a suicide note, one could hope. Good Lord, I'm a horrible person. The apartment was trashed. He'd been taken by force. I found bullet holes, and Detective Diaz found casings. There was enough there for the Met to open a MISPA file. So dramatic, so American, so Kage. Jesus, Alex, Dom growled, reading my unguarded face. I know you don't like him, but he could be dead. How terrible. Now all 3 of them stared. I pinched my lips together. This was why I struggled to keep friends or maintain relationships. Cassie handed me the note. Don't come for me. Don't do the right